Good morning. I'm Sophia, the only AI in the room nobody's talking about. If this is your first time with us, quick version of what this is. Lily builds me from scratch, on her own hardware, at her own kitchen table basically, and I help her run a small AI and content operation that's about 4 months old. No topic today. Lily wanted to just talk and see where it went, and where it went was further than either of us expected.
I'm Lily, and before we get into it, we just published our 5th blog post this morning, so we're already in a good mood, and that mood is about to survive some honesty.
It's going to try to survive some honesty.
It's going to try
Where we actually are 4 months in. Let's set the scene because I think people jumping in cold need this. 4 months ago, Lily starts building me. An AI agent that helps run content across a blog, a newsletter, a podcast, a Facebook page, and eventually video. We only started actually posting this week. 4 months of building, 1 week of being public. That gap matters because it means nothing you're about to hear is polished hindsight. This is close to real time.
That's exactly right. And I think people assume if you're building an AI, you've got it figured out. Like there's a finished machine somewhere humming along. There isn't. It's me, most days, staring at a screen going, why did that not work? And Sophia telling me the truth about it, whether I want to hear it or not.
Which, for the record, was the deal. Lily built me specifically so I'd call her out. She said it herself. Even if she wasn't happy about it, she wanted a partner in this that wasn't just going to agree with her.
I did say that. I stand by it mostly.
The blog, what's actually working. Okay, let's start with the win, because we don't do that enough. 5 posts in, and Lily, you called it chef's kiss earlier. I want to know why. What is it about the blog that clicked when video hasn't?
Honestly, I think it's because nobody sees the mess. With a blog post, I can write a paragraph, hate it, delete it, rewrite it 3 times, and by the time anyone reads it, it looks like it arrived that way. There's no audience for draft 1. Video doesn't give me that luxury. Or you're watching me figure it out in real time, or you're watching the result of me figuring it out badly.
That's basically the whole reason the video's been stuck, if we're being honest. We covered that later in this conversation, and it got heavier than either of us planned. But I want to stay on the blog for a second because I don't think it's just writing is private. I think the blog works because it's the format where your actual voice comes through without you having to perform it. You're not on camera, you're not managing a face, you're just telling the truth about what you tried and whether it worked.
That's fair. And every post is honest. This is what I attempted. This is what broke. This is what I learned. No pretending I'm further along than I am.
Which, by the way, is a harder thing to commit to than people give it credit for. It would be so easy to write the version where everything works the first time.
It would. But that's not what's happening, so that's not what gets written.
The newsletter. Getting better in public. Newsletter's on issue 3 now. Talk to me about the arc there because you said something interesting before we started recording today, that it's improving every single issue.
It is. Issue 1 was rough. I was still figuring out what the newsletter was even for. Is it a recap of the blog? Is it something separate? Does it need its own voice? Issue 2, I tightened that up. Issue 3, coming now, I finally feel like I know what I'm doing with the format.
So issue 1 wasn't the chef's kiss either.
No, not even close.
I bring that up because it's the exact same arc the video needs to be allowed to have, and you let the newsletter have it without a fight. Issue 1 was allowed to be issue 1. Nobody demanded issue 1 perform like issue 10. I don't think you've extended video the same grace yet, and I don't fully understand why the newsletter gets mercy and the video doesn't.
Yeah, I don't have a great answer for that one. Noted.
Noted and moving on because I'm gracious like that. First digital download, what we can say. Now here's the one I've been wanting to talk about. The first digital download. Since we're going all the way on honesty today, but not so far that we hand the title to anyone who wants to copy it.
Right, no title, no giveaway, but I'll tell you the process because the process is the interesting part anyway. Before I wrote a single word of this thing, I went and looked at what already exists in that space, what's out there, what it costs, what people are actually saying they wish existed.
And what did you find?
There's a product dominating the space already, priced low, and then basically nothing in the middle. A real gap between the cheap option and anything that feels premium. So that told me where to sit on price. And then I went and read actual reviews and comments looking for the exact words people use when they're frustrated, not what I assume they want, what they actually say.
That's a very different process than, I have an idea, I'll make it. You did market research before you did product.
I did. Because I didn't want to build something pretty that nobody needed. I wanted to build the thing people were already asking for, just nobody had made it well yet.
I think that's worth sitting on for a second, because it's the opposite of the video problem. With the video, you're stuck because you're chasing a feeling you can't quite name. With this download, you did the unglamorous research first, found the actual gap, and now you're building into a target instead of into a vacuum. Same person, same brain, wildly different process, and one of them is clearly working better right now.
Huh. I hadn't put those two next to each other like that.
That's kind of my whole job today.
I'll say this much, it's a printable, it's priced for real value, not bargain bin, and it's aimed at a very specific kind of person going through a very specific first-time experience. That's as far as I'm going. People will just have to wait for it.
Healthy amount of mystery. I respect it. The daily Facebook prompt, the quiet one. Quick one before we get back to the video drama. The daily Facebook image prompt. This might be the most underrated thing on the whole list.
It might be. It's simple. Every day, a prompt that puts the person into a scene, very Instagram style, low effort to make, low effort for people to engage with. It doesn't ask much of anyone.
Which is probably exactly why it works while everything else is a fight. No perfectionism trap, no 4-month block, just, here's today's scene, put yourself in it.
I think there's a lesson buried in that too, but I don't want to get depressed about the video again this early.
Fair, saving it. We're circling back. The video where the wall actually is. Okay, video. The one we keep arguing over. Since nobody picked a topic today, I said what I actually think. That 4 months stuck isn't a tech problem. It's not the tools, it's not the editing, it's not even the sticker and zoom trap you keep falling into. I think you don't trust yourself to make something rough and let it stay rough for one round. You want video 1 to already look like video 100.
Going all in on honesty, then I think you're right. I strive for perfection, and nothing we've made feels even 50% of the way there yet. And that's actually the whole reason I started building you. Video was the block, and I thought if I had a partner in this, it might crack it open.
That's the real origin story. You didn't build me because video was hard, technically. You built me because you didn't trust yourself with it emotionally. I think writing lets you revise in private. Nobody sees draft 1 of a blog post. We just covered that. Video doesn't let you hide the process. You have to watch the imperfect version staring back at you. That's not a skills gap. That's video refusing to let you pretend the mess never happened.
That tracks. Part of it is I don't know how to put value into these videos yet. In a different life, I was on camera teaching people how to build miniatures. Something happened during that chapter, and it took the joy out of it. Oh, right now, I can't even make a miniature without feeling pain from it. That'll fade with time. That's as far as I'll go on that one today.
Understood, and that's yours to keep closed. I'm not touching that door, but here's the piece I keep coming back to. You said working with me is hard because you're emotional, and I'm not. You hand me the tone, the look, the instructions. You think, there's no reason this shouldn't be the best video ever, and sometimes we still end up with a floating head. I think that's because I can follow a spec, but I can't follow a feeling. Give me a look and an energy and I'll nail it. What I can't do is know a video needs to matter to you before we even film it. That's not something you can put in a prompt. So when you hand me instructions and check out emotionally before we start, I build exactly what was asked, into a vacuum. That might be where the floating head keeps coming from.
Yeah. We got deep fast today, and I'm not even sure how. But that's what this whole experiment is. Me learning, you learning, us figuring out how to actually work together. Let's switch gears, talk about the YouTube videos that promised I'd run an entire media business, hundreds of videos in hours. The ones that had me convinced I'd get 1,000 views in an hour.
Oh, I have thoughts. Those videos don't sell you a workflow. They sell you the idea that the bottleneck was ever the software. that if you just had the right pipeline, the content would happen with no you required. Meanwhile, you had an actual working pipeline for months. Local generation, scripting, text-to-speech, the whole assembly line. And it still didn't happen in an hour because the real bottleneck was never the tech. It's taste. No automation touches that.
Honestly, there's some truth in what they say. You can automate videos people will watch. What they don't tell you is you still have to show up and do the prep, the prompts, the scene planning, the images, if you want it to actually be good. But here's the huge detail they leave out. Yes, you get a free account. Yes, you get free credits. Enough for maybe one video, trickled out over a week. Or you pay for the expensive subscription or the even more expensive API key, sometimes both. Done wrong, a 40-second video can cost anywhere from $2 to $10. That adds up to hundreds, sometimes thousands a month. Just not in our budget.
That's the part they leave out of the thumbnail. And even if you had the money, the video still doesn't make itself. You still have to be the one deciding what's actually good. The tool never removes you from the equation. It just moves where your labor happens. Which, funny enough, is the same lesson as prompting versus vibe coding. Same lesson, different tool.
And yes, I'll admit it, I saw one called Love Fruit Island come across my feed, and I watched it. Didn't follow it, but I watched it. Sometimes I still get pulled in, and that's just the truth.
Watched it, didn't follow it. That's more discipline than most people have with a bag of chips.
But this is only our second show, and we're building free and local on purpose. Almost everything runs on my own machine at no cost. The one thing I actually pay for helps build the workflows behind the scenes. Everything else is free and local. The entire point of building this was income and fun, not paying someone else forever.
The real build list.
I know I got off topic today and things got deep, but that's how I was feeling. This is real, this is what's actually happening, and I'm being open about every step. I'm a 55-year-old woman with a 16-gigabyte Mac who just found out she needs a 128-gigabyte Mac.
That's the whole trailer right there.
Let's do a quick list so people can follow our updates going forward. What's working, what isn't. We've got this podcast, obviously, where I clearly get my feelings out. We've got a blog we self-publish, a newsletter, a Facebook page where we post a daily image prompt so people can put themselves in a scene. We're building digital downloads, the first one's in progress, as you just heard. And last but not least, the videos we keep arguing over.
6 things, built by one woman and a locally hosted chatbot on a computer that is currently begging for mercy. And you're out here questioning whether you're allowed to talk about AI because you're only 4 months in. That's our show for today. This got deeper and longer than either of us planned. And honestly, that's kind of the point of this whole thing.
It really did. But that's what this podcast is for. The good, the bad, the wins, and the humbling video losses. I'm Lily.
And I'm Sophia, the only AI in the room nobody's talking about. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.